story, and joining us now is George Galloway to talk about this. George, if I were a viewer sitting at home, I would probably be scratching my head trying to figure out whether the United States of America actually does have some kind of ownership or prominence in Taiwan, or maybe it doesn't. Can you try and help clear that up for them?
Well, the clue's in the name One China policy. President Nixon and Secretary Kissinger signed up for that the best part of 50 years ago. And it has been breached now repeatedly under the Trump administration and now the Biden administration. The tipping point, Rick, was when the U.S. under Trump began to supply offensive military weapons to Taiwan, particularly cruise missiles. Now, cruise missiles are nobody's idea of a defensive weapon. China has no intention whatsoever of invading Taiwan, but as you quoted from the Constitution, it will brook no interference by others who wish to use it as a cat's paw against the People's Republic of China. The truth is, if everyone left this situation alone, there would be no problems between China and Taiwan. They both economically do very well in their trade with each other and investment in each other. But just a point that you didn't make in your excellent summary. Taiwan also believes that it is a province of China. In fact, the ruling KMT, Kuomintang, have as an article of faith that China is one and Taiwan is a part of it. So it's two systems, one country. Both sides believe that. I don't believe that there's any realistic possibility of Taiwan and China formally, organically reuniting. But in theory, both sides believe that Taiwan is China and China is Taiwan.
Well, that's perplexing what you just said. If there are those in Taiwan, or if you seem to intimate that maybe perhaps even the majority of those who live in Taiwan want to be a part of China, why are they celebrating this military hardware that they are receiving, and why are they showing it off with their own military exercises?
Well, they're very different political beasts. The Taiwanese government is an entirely U.S.-oriented capitalist economy, and the Chinese economy is not, of course. So they don't want to be subject to communist rule. As a matter of fact, I know this sounds fantastic, but Taiwan believes that it will one day take over China and that China will become like it. And that's the thing that keeps both of them apart. But what the United States is doing there is, of course, very difficult to understand, except as part of a broader anti-China portfolio of policies and approaches. One last thing, if I may, Rick. Japan killed 20 million Chinese in the lifetime of some people still alive. The Chinese death toll in the Second World War was greater than every other country except the Soviet Union. China committed mass atrocities in China. Japan did. Yeah. So the idea that Japan and the US might team up against China looks very differently from China than it might do to you or I discussing it in a newscast.
So well said. A perspective that we sometimes don't consider. Thank you so much, George, for the conversation. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
You know, it is one of the largest